Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Bekah. We've been meeting in my house, um, just hanging out. So if you hear background noises and a little 2-year-old running around screaming, her dad's out there with her. It's my little girl, who, by the way, looks nothing like me. She's like 100% her dad. You'll have to get on my blog and look at her little blue eyes and her light hair, like curly hair, and I have this stick straight stuff. But we've been talking about my book, The Bare Naked Truth, Dating, Waiting, and God's Purity Plan. And I'm really glad that you're hanging out with us here. I hope that you'll enjoy our 2 chapters tonight. We're on chapters 6 and 7. And if you missed the first 5 chapters, you can get on and look at those videos as well. We're obviously doing 5 different sections, and so it'll be 2 chapters each time that we get to talk. I want to talk about chapter 6, which is I'm the Perfect Virgin. Actually, chapter 5 is I'm the Perfect Virgin. And we're going to talk about that first. So, just the idea, I hope that as you've read it, you've seen how Madison's story kind of spoke to me a lot, because she says how it affected her when people judged her instead of caring about her and wanting to help her turn her life around. And so I just want us all to be super careful, because I know I've been in the position earlier on in my life where I definitely judged people, and even if I didn't say anything on the outside, I'm sure that my actions made them feel judged instead of cared about. And I think there are some really excellent tips in the book for that I didn't give, but other people gave me, for how to come alongside somebody. Madison had some really wonderful things to say about that and what would have helped her. So when you're coming alongside your friends, take a look at those tips. Take a look at how to love on them and to pray for them, and to find a safe place for them. The main thing we want to do is to be a safe place for people who are struggling, because we've all been there, whether it's in this area or another area of our lives. Number 6 is what I really want to delve into, which is sex is okay as long as you're in love. Now, that's something that we hear a lot, and so I want to just kind of face that head on. And if you go to page 105, I really try to combat this lie, because as believers in Jesus Christ, we're called to something different, and something that I believe God commands us to do, not just because He's like, oh, well, I don't want those people to have any fun. It's more about our future and our health and the health of our future relationships. And that's why He's giving us this command. The world says sex is okay if you're in love. But in 1 Corinthians 7:2, God says that sex is His gift inside of marriage. The world says sex is just a physical exchange, just an exchange of body fluid. But 2 Corinthians says that it binds you spiritually and emotionally to the other person, which we've actually seen the scientific evidence for, that, we can't prove the spiritually part, but we can prove the physically and the emotionally part. The world says sex is just a little bit of innocent fun. And God says in 1 Corinthians that you're hurting yourself, that you're sinning against your own body. The world says that premarital sex is not really a sin. It's just one of those little things. And God says that there are serious consequences, like consequences that you would get if you were into idol worship. Now, I want to pause here and just say, I'm not here, and I said this last week, but if you weren't here, I'm not here throwing this in your face or condemning you or judging you. I just want you to see, in the light of God's word, sometimes the lies that we have believed and how not innocent they are and how harmful they can be. But I don't want to leave you in this place. I want you to feel loved and cared about and just wanted, and to know that I'm here for you however I can help you. So if you'll get on my blog, email me, and also hopefully you're doing this study with someone else and they can walk you through the steps and just the care and the love that you need to make different choices for yourself if that's what you want. The world says it's your body, so it's only affecting you. And God says if you're a believer in Him, that everything you do affects Him. And lastly, the world says God doesn't really expect you to be abstinent. After all, He just wants you to enjoy life. And God says that you should get rid of from your life anything that isn't healthy for you. He says that in Colossians 3:5. So I hope that these are some things that you can let soak in and that you can really think about and dwell on. And I just want to encourage you today that Sarah's story, also that starts on page 105, it's just really, it put into light how sometimes we can make choices for technically following the letter of the law, but not really walking in it, and just the heart that God has for us, and realizing that these commands are out of His love for us and His mercy for us, and that's why He gives them to us. And I also want you guys to discuss, in closing, how you would make this decision, how public it would be for you. And if you choose to mostly keep it to yourself and just have a mentor to keep you accountable, I think that's great. If you want to tell more people about your decision, count the cost. But if you're willing to pay that cost, that's great too. And discuss that in the comments with me. Tell me how public you think this decision would be for you. All right, y'all have a great week, and I will catch you next time.